record. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Hello, welcome. We're so happy to have you all here. My name is Laura Clark Murray, and I'm a founding member of Omdena, and I'll be moderating the session today. I want to thank you all for joining. We have a number of panelists here, and we're going to be talking about women in AI. What are the challenges we face and have faced, and the opportunities that that we see to accelerate our careers. As you join, it would be great if you mention in the chat where you're coming from. We'd love to know. Okay, so let me just begin to share a few slides. Here we go. So as I mentioned, we have 5 panelists here today, and they'll be sharing their experiences in navigating their AI careers. They've all had very different paths, different educational paths, different work paths. They come from different parts of the world, and they've faced different hurdles and choices as they've navigated their careers. But there is one thing that everyone on the panel has in common, which is all of them have experience with Omdena in a variety of roles, which will be interesting to hear about. So I wanted to just briefly share, excuse me, a few things about the work that Omdena does. Omdena is an innovation platform where AI engineers and domain experts, machine learning and data scientists collaborate to build solutions to real world problems. So everyone in the organization is working to have an impact with AI. And the way we do this is we're organized into 8-week projects. And for each 8-week project, we gather a diverse team from around the globe to focus on creating solutions to a specific issue or topic. Often a very social issue. Our customers and partners have included the World Food Program, the UN Refugee Agency, as well as many other UN organizations, the World Resources Institute, and many, many startups and NGOs around the world. Since Omdena started in 2019, since we launched, we've executed on more than 120 projects with 4,000 collaborators from around the world joining us, and those coming from more than 100 countries. We also now have Omdena chapters, local chapters that have been organized in more than 65 countries, and we have an Omdena school that is up and running to help educate people how to participate and do good AI work. Whoops, there we go. So while we won't be talking specifically about Omdena today, it is, of course, very, very relevant for all the panelists. And I just wanted to point out that there are many ways to develop your AI career at Omdena, whether you are interested in data science and being a data engineer, doing AI modeling, researching, launching and managing, overseeing a product and leading a product. There's quite a few different ways to become involved, and different skills are developed for each of those. And we have a nice diverse panel here who represent actually a lot of these areas and can speak to that. So today we have 5 women, and as they introduce themselves, which I'm going to ask them to do next, we're going to first have them introduce themselves. Then I'll be asking them some questions and we'll have some conversation. And then we'll have Q&A at the end. So please be thinking about the questions that you would like to ask. And feel free to go to the Q&A panel and begin to ask your questions, and we'll get to those. Okay. So I've asked each of the panelists to share one by one a very brief overview of their who they are and their AI career. Kind of where did they start? What formal or informal education have they pursued? Where are they now in their career? And then I ask them each to share just a kind of 1-word or 2-word answer to this question. And then I'll follow up after they each introduce themselves. So the question was, what has been most significant in advancing your AI career? So they won't go into detail, but they're just going to give us the 1-word answer, and then we'll come back around to it. So let's go in the order of that I have the list here. So Harini, would you begin? And I'm going to stop the share so that we can be focused on faces.
Sure.
There we go.
Thank you, Laura. So introducing myself, I'm currently the head of projects at Omdana. I'm working with all these amazing women here in our organization. And I am a computer science engineer by my education. And of course, I did receive a formal education. In terms of AI career, I believe that I'm in the intermediate level because there's always still space to grow, and hopefully not at the beginner, because I've done a few projects with a lot of in a lot of streams. And I myself was a collaborator at Omdana, so I got hands-on experience with many projects. And my experience, my challenges, identify thing that Laura asked would be that I really believe that hands-on experience is very, very important for all of us to move ahead in our career, be it any field, and especially for this field, it's very important because it's we think that it's one flow or one basic, but it's more than that. So receiving hands-on experience is what I feel is very important. Maybe I can just pass it on to my rest of the teammates.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, Harini. Okay, let's go. Yes, and we'll come back around and ask you more about your thoughts on hands-on experience and the impact it can have. Okay, Rasha.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here with all these amazing women, and Laura, you're included. And so I'm Rasha. I am from Iraq, but it's been like 8 years since I'm living in Turkey now. And yes, I came also from formal education. I'm a computer engineer, and I didn't even started thinking about AI until about 2 years ago. And I also believe hands-on experience is the key. But also in addition, there are some other factors that really helped me through that. But yeah, hands-on experience would be the first thing and most important thing. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, Opayemi.
Okay, so good day, everyone. And then thank you for giving me this opportunity to be speaking to this amazing audience. And thank you, Laura. Thank you, everyone. And then I want to say well done to all these amazing women here. And in one way or the other, they have impacted in me. And okay, so I'll just look briefly to talk about myself. My name is Opayemi Adeniro, and I have computer engineering degree from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. I'm also a current student of Morgan State University in USA, studying advanced computing, where I major in artificial intelligence. And so I would say that I joined Omdana July 2020. And I would say that when I joined as a novice, and I really don't know much. I just work with Tableau, and so I developed my AI skills through Omdana. And my first project was I was meeting Rosanna and Hiram for the first time, and they encouraged me. They supported me, and I was able to develop that skills. So I was able to contribute learn on the project and develop my AI skills. And so my first project with Omdina was on Save the Children project, and where I was able to build a chatbot at the end of the day. And so that was my first, that was my first learning about natural language processing, first learning about several algorithms. And thanks to God and thanks to these amazing women seated here, they encouraged me and supported me. So I would say that to develop your AI skills, you need to work with, I would say that hands-on is one of the best way to develop your AI skills. And what Omdina is doing through collaboration with other global people is amazing, because I was able to develop my skills. In fact, it was when I joined Omdina that I got, there are a lot of doors that opened to me. I was able to get an artificial intelligence job, artificial AI job with Infineon. I was also able to get a grant to study to advance my career in advanced computing in the university here in USA. So it was based on my work experience and my real hands-on work experience, that I'm able to learn, and I was able to show to these people, and they believe that, wow, for you to have taken this bold step, for you to have developed yourself, for you to have this level of experience, then we can invest in you. So one of the best way for you to develop your skills is through hands-on. And kudos to Medina for this amazing community. Okay, so that's just a bit.
Thank you so much, and we'll come back around and ask you to share more about your thoughts there. So, okay, and Anju?
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for having me, Laura, and the team. I just joined Omdina like just last week, 1 week back. So I'm one of the newest members here. So about me, my name is Anju Mercier. I have been in the computer science field for almost 10 years now. I finished my master's in computer engineering from Syracuse University. And I worked as a software engineer for a few years, project manager, business analyst, data analyst. So I was actually looking for my passion, looking for what career to move on, because I didn't find myself stuck to anything, the passion in anything else. So while searching for what I wanted to do, I stumbled across Andrew Ng's Coursera course. And I fell in love with machine learning, and I want to learn more and more and more about that, because I knew I always had love for data when I was in school, but then there was nothing else I could do that time, because I was kind of just the generation before machine learning generation, I think, when I graduated. So my journey into machine learning has been informal education. I took my MOC courses, online courses, Udacity scholarships through that. That's how I found out about Omdina. And I finished some Udacity online course scholarship, and then I joined Omdina. My first project was on earthquakes, predicting earthquakes for actually Istanbul, Turkey. It was a wonderful project. It was a very difficult project because, getting your hands on for the first time on a project is, you're all over the place, you're worried, you're scared. But I had some background through my online courses, and I continued my online courses and also working on projects for Omdina. And that's how I stepped into AI. And I've been with AI, I think, for 3 years now. So that's been a good journey. And I think in addition to what the other girls said about hands-on experience, I also think also starting with basics, taking tutorials and understanding your basic knowledge of your AI is very important, like deep learning AI. Your how if you have basic knowledge, one thing, you don't have the fear. So you get out of the fear and you can approach. So basic knowledge is important in addition to hands-on experience. That's my take on it. So thank you, Laura.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Aram, please.
Hello, everyone, and thank you again, for inviting me. Well, I'm Mira Mufsal. I am head of Omdina School. So where I joined. So I joined Omdina in 2019, May 2019. So Life on Mars, and that's one of my favorite project. And people know me like the one who worked on Life on Mars. Detecting anomaly detection on the surface of Mars. So that was really amazing project. So that was one of my international project. By profession, I'm teacher, so I used to teach that. So the the project I took, it was, my role was data wrangler. So I used to, you can say label the images, but I used to sit in every single meeting, in Omdina, we have different tasks, and I used to sit there and used to be very curious, what does mean by, supervised learning, and what what the problem team is facing. So I used to witness that, and that, curiosity led me towards, you can say, take a micromaster at MIT. And then, gradually I did 6 project and Omnina. I've been part of Omnina, like it's my, you can say, uh, uh, very close to my heart. Like I did 6 project and I have very friendly terms, and people know me whenever I used to, go somewhere. So people know me. I am the one who is working at Omnina, and who they have, seen me at Omnina. So, the confidence I built is, at that platform, because I have met many people, and those people have brought me, like introduced me with various community. By profession I'm teacher, so wherever I used to go to take course, so they offer me opportunity, why not to teach that. So Anju is one of them. She, brought me at Women Who Code, and then, from, I guess it's been 2 years at Women Who Code as well. Like I am delivering courses over there and delivering workshop over there instead of, attending them. So for me, like networking and the platform, no doubt, whatever other friends are saying, hands on, it's good. Getting education is good, but what to do that? Like if you don't have networking, if you don't know the diversity, if you don't know, like, which age group requires what kind of requirement, or which company require which skill set, you might not able to, excel. So I would go for networking, because that provide me opportunity to grow and, build my career. That's it from my side.
Thank you. I'm so impressed by everyone and what you've been doing and the way that you got to the place that you are. I'm just going to say very briefly about myself. My background is in computer engineering, way back when, and I focused on artificial intelligence, but it was in a pre-data science world. So what I really was doing was expert systems type of work, and that's what I started doing in college and then right after college. But my path has been more on the business side of things. So I relatively quickly and relatively early in my career moved into more project lead, and then became more the sort of the face of the work, the projects, to our clients and so on. But I would say my career has been extremely eclectic. So my answer to that question, what's been most significant, does not apply just to AI, nor do I think any of your answers apply just to AI. But the thing that's been most significant for me has been doing the work. And so I think hands-on experience is another way to say that. So I've always, if I get interested in something, I just find a way to do it somehow, some way. Whether that's by myself, learning and reading, and then just creating, or often reaching out to others who are involved and just saying, how can I help? And in fact, that's how I got connected with Omdena originally, by saying, this is really cool. What can I do? And so that is my recommendation for people. Find a way. It can be difficult if you have a full-time job, to fit some side gig in. I understand that. But any little things you can do to just begin to do the thing you want to do, I think will serve you well. Okay, so that's about me. Okay, so now I'd love to just ask a few, follow-up questions and learn more. And, that was very helpful to get the sense of the most significant thing you each have felt for your careers. But let's talk a little bit about challenges, because if anybody watching this most likely is feeling perhaps a little stuck, and they're wondering, how do I make something happen in my career. So it would be helpful to understand a little bit about the challenges that anyone has faced and sort of potentially gotten past, but maybe not. So Anju, would you mind sharing a little bit about some of the challenges you've faced in your career and how you overcome them?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Laura. So I would first start by saying that the first challenge was getting over my fear. It was so new to me. I know I had computer science background, but it was very new to me. Everything was like, I didn't go back to school. So I had to figure out what to learn and where to go. So when I first started, I was searching all over the web to figure out what courses to take, whether I was taking the right courses. So I took online courses and getting over that was my biggest hurdle to get over myself, my fear. Then was learning, because AI is huge. There's so much to learn. There's NLP, computer vision, deep learning. That you can keep learning, and then there's new algorithms coming every day. You got to read research papers, and reading research papers is not easy. You fall asleep. It's like it's very difficult. So you need to find a way to stay up and read and get to know new things. So how I got over that is one, working for Omdina. So Omdina helped me focus myself on which one I want to know. So right now I know that I want to do something on NLP because I am really interested in NLP. Because I was able to work across different domains, I was able to kind of find my niche in my AI journey. So now I know that, okay, computer vision is not so much I'm so interested in, but NLP, I'm really I love that, and deep learning, something related to deep learning. And I'm also working on a side project that I'm trying out with deep learning. So that is that. I think those were my main challenges working on it. So, and then when you join a project, how you get about it, you just have to put yourself out there, and that's pretty scary. Put yourself online, start writing blogs. That's something I've started doing, writing blogs, learning in writing, consuming in writing. And yeah, that's how I got over all of what I wanted to learn. And learning, you always have to keep learning. So you find something new, you got to learn. But if you have your basics right, you have all what you need to know, right? Everything else, you just can kind of build on top of it. So that's what.
Thank you. That's very interesting. So, fear is so significant, especially, as you said, the AI is huge, right? There's so much going on. There's so many different ways in. It's easy to be overwhelmed and not know where to start, and maybe to not start. So I think what you're saying about just learning, right? So learning as the first step to, it sounds like to me that's what you said that you did, which is this is overwhelming, this is scary. I'm just going to educate myself informally, right? Yes. You did it on the side.
Yeah. I had a full-time job, and I was doing this on the side, which is difficult. But that time I didn't have a kid. Now it would have been more difficult. But since that time I was, I didn't have a child. It was easy. I used to work during the day and night. I used to be reading, studying, working on Udacity. Udacity Scholarship was something that really helped me, and that's actually my way into Omdina. So, if any,
what was that?
The Udacity Scholarship.
Okay. Yeah.
The Udacity Scholarship was a great thing because it was a group that you work on projects, you can involve yourself, and they give you a course at the end. So you get to do the course and a course during scholarship. So that's how I got there.
Yeah, and it's wonderful, right? That at this time, you don't have to go back to go get a formal degree. It's wonderful if you are and you can. But there are so many opportunities to learn online, like Udacity, that you can take that step and just begin to learn, which is really great. How about, let's see, Rasha, would you mind sharing what kind of challenges have you faced, and how did you address that?
Yeah, so yeah, there are some things that I also aligned with what Andrew said. So my biggest challenge was myself, actually. So I also started my introduction to AI was through Udacity. Scholarship. I was with Andrew at the same scholarship actually, and it was for me. It's like literally paralyzing. Like when I'm in the call with the four others who were also like students, but I was unable to speak, and I was unable to even like share my thoughts. I remember like this was really extremely difficult for me, and just overcoming that was really encouraging. Like everyone, and I remember how everyone was really encouraging me, and just my fear fading away. And this was my first challenge, just to get myself out there and keep exploring. Like I started, I was thinking like I'm going to be a web developer, and then I just lost interest. Then I took a course on Android application development, and I thought this is the thing that I'm going to do. And actually, through that, I was trying to create a game, and then I thought about how to make the game smart, intelligent. Then I started looking into AI, and then I got accepted into the Udacity Scholarship, and that was the story. Like I realized that no, this is actually what I'm passionate about, and you have to have. It's not easy to overcome your fears. Like it wasn't easy when I overcome the challenges that I like put to myself, but I had a strong reason, kind of, and that reason is my son. I already have things that I want to plant in him, and then I realized that these things I don't have, so I should demonstrate this to him. You know what I mean? So this actually made me tolerate the feeling of feeling exposed and feeling really uncomfortable.
Wow, that
made it tolerable for me. It's just thinking about him and want him to see his mother, and make him proud.
That's very inspiring, and really, I appreciate you sharing that, because we all have our fears, and sometimes finding that why, why, something to outside of yourself to motivate you to say, I'm just going to find a way through this, is very powerful. Yeah, thank you.
That's what I'm trying to say to everyone. It's if you see someone like overcoming a challenge, it's just find a reason to overcome yours also. It's like, it's not easy. Like it's actually hard, and but it's getting easier, by every time. And of course, with the support of amazing community and amazing people, you don't feel like you're being judged or being, it's the opposite. You're always encouraged to do your best, and everyone is there to help. And so just open up, and you get a lot of opportunities.
Well, I think that's a good. Both you and you kind of talked about getting started. What was your path in there? So maybe we can. I'm sure there are people watching who are just trying to start. So I would be curious, maybe Harini, if you might share your thoughts on what you would recommend for people who are just starting, who are thinking, this is a pretty cool area, a pretty cool field. I wonder if I could do it and be a part of it. What would your advice be for them?
Yeah, sure. So once I started with this field and I got interest into AI, etc., the first thing that I wanted to do was to get out of my comfort zone. That is the first very realistic advice that I would actually suggest to everybody, because it wouldn't be, once we try to learn and everything, of course, it would be easy, but just getting started is the icebreaker. So it's about just, and once we figure out the field that we want to start on, that is uncovering a challenge by itself. And once that's done, it's about our own hard work and consistency. So when I started going about this AI HCI, of course, it was very nice, but at the same time, it was like when I started during my undergrad dates, it was in the form of research papers, and hardly during my second year, third year undergrad, I was not into literature survey and everything. But still, that was the only way that I could get more, impart more knowledge into myself and then figure out what else streams. So there should always be starting point. The starting point might not be comfortable. Maybe you are a web developer or you are a full-time coder in C++, Java, other languages, and you might face a kind of a slight difficult transition from that field into AI. But definitely it's not tough. It's just getting out of the zone and doing what's necessary for that field. And the second most important thing is that we will need to research. So when I knew that I wanted to do AI, but what in AI? Like there are many roles in AI itself. Would you like to be a data scientist? Would you like to be a machine learning engineer? Which part of the AI pipeline would you like to take over? And that I learned which I like by trying out everything. So that's how I actually figure out which one I like. So do I like working with data? Do I like the modeling aspect, or do I like product development? It's just like getting on the roles of everything and just seeing which is the best way that I could learn. But in any case, which I didn't stop and which helped me was always being open to new things. And there will be a point when we reach and say that, okay, so now I know everything. Not everybody might feel that we might not know everything, but we will come to that point where we know that, all right, so I've gone through all this. What else? Just sit back and relax. No, as far as AI is concerned, it's just moving every day. So it's very important for us also to keep moving with that every day, just not to lose passion. Once we know that this is our passion, I believe we can go through it. It's just getting out of the comfort zone and other details. But once you figure out the passion, that field would be very smooth.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, some people find themselves feeling quite overwhelmed and fearful. For others, and I would kind of put myself in this category, I'm always looking for the thing that I'm a little bit afraid of. And, the thing that I'm excited about and afraid of. And that's what I'm hearing in what you're saying, which is, you can get comfortable. And so just what else is around the corner? How can you push yourself to explore something new that maybe puts you out of your comfort zone, as you said. Let's see, how about Opeyemi, what would your advice be for someone who is just at the beginning of their AI career or data science career?
Okay, so just to add to what Harini has said, for anyone starting a career in artificial intelligence, I want you to know that you just have to give it a try. There is no harm in trying something new. So just like a bit story of myself, I joined artificial Save the Children project, and it was my first learning about natural language processing. We need to be able to get sentiment out of data, and I really do not know anything. So I went out there, go on LinkedIn to learn more about natural language processing, and come back to apply the knowledge I've gotten from there and apply it to the project at hand. So it was very hard. I was just thinking that probably I may not know it. Probably, what if this project ends? This project is just for within 3 months, and how can I apply these skills in this project? And so I realized that the truth is that I was unable to apply the knowledge in natural language processing on that project at that time frame because I couldn't meet up. So I said, okay, what's the next thing? I reached out to my project manager. I was Rosanna. And I told her that what's the next thing? What should I do? She said, okay, we are working towards building a chatbot. Okay, so I went to LinkedIn again, look for a course on how to build a chatbot. I studied how to build a chatbot. I came back, so I had to go ahead and prepare for the project at hand. I came back to the project because it's just within 3 months and I want to contribute. I want to develop myself. I want to give it a try. And so I reached out to her and said, okay, so what's the next thing? She said, you can build a chatbot. And I said, okay, so after learning the skills on LinkedIn, I came back and I built a chatbot. So I reach out, and I know that I'm a web developer and I've been an instructor in haptech education, So I said, then there was a need for a web skills in that project. They need to like make the app look so beautiful. So I said, this is an opportunity for me to also to add to this project. And then I said to, and when there was a need for it, I opted in. I told them, that was when I met Shidradi at the project. I said, okay, so I am a web developer and I can apply my skills in this, in what you are doing. And that was a network graph. And network graph was actually focused on to be able to, just like what Google uses in search engine optimization. So we want to gather articles together so that by the time we search for content like online abuse, it brings out related articles on online abuse about children. So that we are building something like that in network graph. So I was able to like reach out to Shidradi. Okay, I can make this app that you're building. I can make it a little look very attractive using my web skills. And so he said, wow, that's fine. So he gave me the project. And when I see the code, I was like, wow, I don't even understand this code. So how can I even apply my web skills? So I really did not know much. So I reached out to him. I said, okay, I want to work. I want to learn. So he said, okay, let me put you up on a call. And he put me up on a call. And then he explained to me the codes. Then I was able to understand the code. Then I was now able to now use my web skills, to make the web app attractive. So he also explained the network graph and how it works. And I was able to have an understanding of the network graph at the end of the project. And I was also able to build a chatbot at the end of the project using AWS. So that was how I was able to like contribute to the project and develop my AI skills. So always there is no harm in trying. Believe in yourself. Just give it a try and reach out to people at any point in time.
Okay, that's excellent. And I actually think that's a really good transition to Aram. I want to ask you about. So we've been talking mostly about well, just do it, right? Just do a project, get started. But what about finding opportunities? Do you have any thoughts on how someone who's like, yeah, I want to just start doing this hands-on? How can I uncover opportunities in the AI field?
Yeah, so that's what I believe, and as I have just discussed earlier, so less you do and more you present will make you more confident. So most of time we don't credit our work, so we see like I know many things but those are not up to mark. So joining different communities, that could be a local community, international communities, online community, try to go join that and find out the people and see what are they doing, discuss your ideas with them, and you will definitely find the people who will encourage your work and provide you opportunities to late knowledge based upon whatever you have done. So the biggest mistake we do is that we start learning so many things but we don't get real world experience. So we know everything, like we have learned basic computer sciences, we have learned computer vision, we have learned deep learning, neural network, and so many things with standard data set and a well defined a pre-standardized algorithm. So you just pick up and apply that and that's working. So in real world you don't have such kind of data, so you have to struggle with finding the right data set, balancing it, and then projecting true learned experience. So my suggestion would be do less and learn and then practice it and showcase it. And how to do that, that's very easy these days. So you can find every single community announce hackathons. If you can't find anyone, you can like Omnina is also providing you one of the opportunity, like you come up here and you come across various group of the people, although you only know tagging or data labeling, but at back end you are learning about the problems or difficulties people are facing while building chatbots, while building these networks. So back in mind you are preparing yourself, these are the problem that data come across. So like the more you network with the people and listen their problems and their difficulties, like one brain have to maybe work for hours and two brain can divide the work and both of the person can learn together. Similarly, like we have one community like AI Wonder Girls. So how we build like a community, just knowing one friend, like I know Anju know Herini know Rasha, and then four of us are sitting together. Anju is really good in an NLP. Herini is good in computer vision. Rasha can help us out maybe in deploying the project. So in one sitting, four of us learning from each other, although all of us are sitting in different corner of the world with different cultures, with different language, even all of us don't speak a single common language, but even then we are learning from each other. So just make your mind, do one project, find good people and advance it, and then go for another project, another skill set, and polish it in a way so that you are confident, you have skill set to showcase it at various platforms.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, and obviously everyone here, myself included, has Omdena experience, and that sort of community is built in, right? So if anyone who's watching, definitely check out the Omdena website. There are new projects launching every single week, and we pull together 50 or so people from around the world with different perspectives and different ideas and skills. Many very experienced, many just, maybe just learning about this aspect of AI or, this particular kind of problem. So, but I like also what you said, which is even if you didn't get involved with something that was organized like Omdena, just find one person, someone, build your own community, right? If you can't find one. All right, we're actually shockingly almost running out of time, but Anju, let's think about, what about somebody who is in their AI career and who wants to take some kind of leap forward, right? It's a new year and they're thinking, okay, I'm going to try to accelerate my career path here. Do you have any thoughts on what you would recommend for someone like that?
So for anybody that's already in their career and want to leap forward, so I would start by finding a group, like how Iram said, finding a community that's already there. There's lots of communities, there's like lots of LinkedIn groups. There are many people out there that have communities that will help, like Women Who Code, and we have AI Wonder Girls for us. You can joining the community and trying to see what they're learning as a group is important. And then I read an article where he said, how do you continue learning? And one of the main things that they mentioned over there is reading research papers. Reading research papers and trying out the new algorithms. Also joining Kaggle. Kaggle also has a very good community, right? So actually put yourself out there. So whatever you have, put yourself out there. There are a lot of resources, especially now in the online world and the internet world. The Web3 world right now. There's so many resources out there. So find a community, find something that you like to do, find a Kaggle project if you're interested in, or if you have an idea, start a side project. That will help a lot. And try to see how to build a side project. Read research papers or read in some of the magazines that are coming out for AI, online magazines. You don't have to pay for them, they just send it to you. Yeah, and just keep ourselves out there, and also you can join Omdina projects. We have very good projects coming up, and if you like, the school, you can get involved in many different things here in the local chapters. And I think that's something that you can do if you're already working in AI. Just keeping yourself up to date, keeping yourself within the community. It'll help a lot. That's what I have been doing, like keeping myself within the community, finding my group. Since I love giving back to women, so I stay within the women's group, but I also like look around and say whatever is available. Join. Many people have their groups, so it's yeah. That's all. I think that's something.
Okay, thank you so much. And Harini, curious what your thoughts are on uncovering opportunities. If someone, whether they're just beginning or they're already in their AI career and they're wanting to accelerate, what are your thoughts on uncovering the kind of projects and opportunities that might help them out?
Sure. So I believe there are like two things for uncovering the opportunities. The first one is, of course, learning, but that's on a consistent level. Learning, we do have a lot of resources for that, where we can check out different courses and understand. That's fine. But the major part, if I would actually allocate 30% to learning, I would allocate the rest 70% for implementing it. So for us, though when I was going into this, I was looking out for opportunities, but when I actually got the opportunity, it was overwhelming at the beginning to work on a project. Why? Because I didn't practice implementing before that. All I did was just learning and putting it inside. But when I actually had to do it, there was a very big learning curve. So I would say that we should first, like, let's learn, but parallelly also implement. So it's not like we're never ready. So once we say that I will start implementing or I'll start working on projects when I'm ready, no, we are not. So we'll never be ready in that case. So I would say that learn, and once you learn, also implement it. And for those opportunities, there are tons of opportunities out there. The first step to do that is getting into a community. So you first like network with others and then see which organization might help out. For me, I always wanted to work on project where there was like a problem statement and there would be others with whom I can collaborate. But I never found a project like that. The first platform that I came across was Omdana for me. And my first project was analyzing domestic violence, where I applied and got through. I have done a lot of courses on NLP, but that course gave me a holistic view. And it's not only about giving a holistic view, it's about us working on it. So whenever there was already a notebook or something during my learning period, it was the answers were there. I was trying to learn. Yeah, but there was no self-learning. This project implementation gave more of self-learning. So just get into a community first, network with others to find where your interest is lie. And it's okay, might be we might not necessarily want to implement projects directly. Maybe we're interested in research, that's fine. But find the right group of people and try to engage with the community. And self-learning is the biggest thing that helped me. And yes, we're never ready if we wait that let's start after we're ready.
Okay, thank you so much. And lots of wisdom here in this group. All right, we are pretty much at the end, shockingly, but I'm wondering, Opayemi, if you could tell us, if you have a sort of a quick thought on what you would suggest to someone who wants to kind of leap forward, what you might suggest that they do, either that or also how to uncover opportunities. Whichever.
Okay, so if you want to leap forward, which means that you already have a background, and so you want to develop yourself. Okay, so of course, just like Harry, my first community was Omdana, and so it was an opportunity for me to leap forward. So it gave me a platform for me to develop myself, network with people. So I will say that I think one of the best things I would love to say here is that there are, instead of you to like start searching for online articles, I think the community is one of the first things you should look out. So look for AI communities, then learn about artificial intelligence, network with people in that community, learn learn more about the skills in artificial intelligence, join events, like join upcoming artificial intelligence or data science events. And from there, it exposes you to a lot of fields in artificial intelligence, a lot of skills you need to know. Then from there, you can now sit down and say, okay, let me look for upcoming projects that I can develop myself into. I can go for. So for me, Omdina was the first community, and joining the community exposed me to a lot of skills that I need to learn, and it also gave me an opportunity for me to talk about what I've done. So leaping forward now, after joining, let me use my story as a case sample. After joining, I became after joining a project, I decided, okay, there was an opportunity for me to lead a chapter, Lagos, Nigeria chapter. And actually, I was thinking that I am not, I don't have the skills, I don't have the exposure, I don't have a project. I have not handled such an artificial intelligence project before, But Iram encouraged me. That's the essence of the community now, Iram was part of Mdena community, and she encouraged me and said, Opayemi, I believe that you can do it. Just go for it. I was like, wow, how can someone believe in me like that? And I don't, I myself am yet to believe in myself, see the essence of community and networking. Okay. And so she encouraged me and I stepped forward. So me stepping forward to become the lead chapter for Lagos, Nigeria. And our first project was on computer vision. We were able to identify areas in Nigeria without electricity access. We're using so now we needed to extract data from images. We need to extract data from images from Google Earth Engine. I was leading that project, and you leading the project, you need to break down the project. And the categories of people that are in that group are people starting the career in data science and artificial intelligence. And of course, it's my first project of leading. This is the first time I'm leading an AI project. And so, of course, I always remember that Iram believes in me. I also developed, and I also know that I am into it and I have to deliver it. So it was a big challenge for me. So joining a community, networking with the right set of people is one of the greatest things that can help you in achieving your artificial intelligence goal. And so at the end of the day, we are able to develop a model that identify areas in Nigeria without electricity access. And secondly now, and also now we have been able to develop a recommendation system. For my second project now, we have been able to develop a recommendation system that we develop a recommendation model that recommends job and skills to Nigerians based on their skills, based on their skills. Look at how I was able to step forward and develop myself. So I joined the community, I networked with the right people, I was encouraged, I stepped in, I developed my my product management skills, I was and that was my first time of leading a project. And during that period, I needed to do a lot of research. I needed to go for online courses also on Scrum Masters so that I can lead the project to a success. I needed to develop my artificial intelligence skills. I needed to get my hands dirty because I am in it already. So I need to develop, I need to make it a success. So I would love to say that you want to leap forward in your artificial intelligence career, joining the artificial intelligence community is one of the key things, and network with the right people. Then get your hands on deck. Go for it, believe in yourself, and then join projects. And so that's what I would love to share.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. And I think that's a really nice way to kind of wrap up, because whether you are feeling a little overwhelmed or fearful, or you are already in the field and you're looking for new opportunities, community, there is a community, there are communities, strong communities, and there are communities, if they aren't, there are some that are women focused, but there are so many women now in the field that you can find camaraderie and support. And like you said, someone who can kind of believe in you and can make all the difference. So I think that is a great way to sort of wrap up. And I want to thank all of you for being a part of this, for really giving such thoughtful answers and sharing a bit of yourselves. And I'm, as I said, a lot of wisdom here. So thank you all for sharing your thoughts today. And I hope to see you guys all soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending. And maybe we'll see you at on an Omdena project. Okay. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.